It's exactly 2 months since Russia invaded Ukraine, and there appears to be no end in sight to the conflict. South Africa has been accused of fence-sitting on the issue. On Wednesday, President Cyril Ramaphosa confirmed he'd spoken to Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky by phone. In a tweet, Ramaphosa said the two presidents agreed on the need for a negotiated end to the conflict. For more on this, I'm joined by Ukraine's ambassador to South Africa, Liubov Abravitova. Ambassador, a very good morning to you. Welcome to Newsfeed AM. So the conversation which you had been calling for between President Ramaphosa and President Zelensky has happened this week. How much does it help?
Good morning. Good morning, our listeners, and happy Easter to all Orthodox who are celebrating today. Yes, indeed, this week we've seen that two presidents spoke and had telephone conversation, quite a long one, 20 minutes. All of you probably read about the substance of this conversation. The President Zelensky informed the President Ramaphosa about our resistance, as you just said, already for 2 months, to Russian aggression and Russian open invasion. We did discuss the bilateral relations and, of course, the future of our cooperation. We do hope that the war will be stopped soon, and we hope that after the solution of this conflict between Ukraine and Russia, we will get back to our agenda.
We don't have the best connection with you, Ambassador, so I'm going to pursue this conversation perhaps with 1 or 2 more questions, and if we aren't able, we'll sadly have to perhaps reschedule. But one thing I wanted to ask you, you mentioned hope that the conflict can still end. Today is exactly 2 months since the invasion by Russia began. Are you more or less optimistic than you were 2 months ago?
I'm optimistic because this 2 months, of course, we've seen a lot of atrocities, a lot of death from both sides. But what we've seen is how people of one country can unite themselves and unite the world. Yes, I'm optimistic today.
President Zelensky, speaking last night, said that he is still open to a face-to-face meeting with President Vladimir Putin. That's yet to happen. It's not the first time he said it. But in that same briefing in Kyiv yesterday, he also said he doesn't trust the Russians. How then do you negotiate in good faith with people you don't trust?
The direct negotiations are very important, and our appeal to them shows the world that we are ready for this negotiation. But Russia doesn't want the solution. It is important for the world to see. But also, we are thinking about how we can guarantee security for Ukraine in the future. And obviously, it will not be possible without external players to provide guarantees of security both in this country and in the region. So this is something that we are already discussing and in consultations with many countries. This process is open for all the countries of the world. We need peace. We desperately need to stop this war, all of us, all the world.
The challenge that you face, though, in this pursuit of a peaceful negotiation out of this fighting that's going on currently is that just this week, Russia's President Vladimir Putin said the so-called military operation was going according to plan. The Russian government still insists that it intends to, as it says, to denazify Ukraine, and they still want Ukraine to surrender. So how are you even going to begin peace negotiations when the positions are still clearly unchanged?
Well, negotiations are happening already all these 2 months. We did have 8 rounds of negotiations on different levels. Yes, without ceasefire. Yes, without stopping these atrocities that Russians are doing. And yes, with every day world watching, the disinformational machine of Russia is working. But, you know, it shows the mask of the faces. And it's important that everyone now recognizes who must be denazified. Yes, we're paying a very big price as Ukraine, as our people and nation for this. But I believe this is very important for the world.
Quick final one then, because the quality of our connection once more is deteriorating. Antonio Guterres, the UN chief, is due to visit both Russia and Ukraine. He'll be in Russia Tuesday, Ukraine on Thursday. President Zelensky has said that he's not too happy with the way those two visits have been scheduled, i.e. Guterres going to Russia first. But how much hope do you have? How much hope are you pinning on this visit by Guterres as far as moving towards a peaceful resolution? Do you think it'll shift anything?
All of us, we are members of the United Nations, and it is in our interest. If we are still hoping this organization is efficient and needs to exist in future, whatever in the same format or being reformed, all of us need to see how efficient it can be. For me, any engagement, any participation, any visit that we are seeing today in Ukraine is important and brings hope that Russia will hear the appeal of the world and will stop.
Liubov Abravitova, Ukraine's ambassador to South Africa, thank you for your time today.